everyone, my name is Victoria and thank you for coming by my channel, Our Living Book. I am a homeschooling mom to 4 boys and 1 on the way. My husband and I have chosen to homeschool our children via the Charlotte Mason method. We absolutely love it. It is a perfect fit for our family, and I am here to talk to you today specifically about what we do for preschool at home. Now, Charlotte Mason doesn't really start, her method doesn't really start until the age of 6, but like I said, I have older boys that encourage and provoke my younger ones to want to do school as well. They always want to be just like their brother. Everything's competition. We don't really push school for them at such a young age, but they enjoy that special time, and I get to snuggle on the couch and sit down at the table with my 4-year-old. So it's fun for everybody. A lot of read alouds, a lot of fun stuff, lots of outdoor play, free time, so nothing too crazy. But I'm going to show you what we use, the books I have, the tools I use, and see what you think. So I'm going to go ahead and start with what we use for our Bible and Catechesis. If you tuned in to my previous video, I mentioned that we mainly use the Mater Amabilis syllabus and lesson plans available for free online. Mater Amabilis is a Charlotte Mason based curriculum. Like I said, everything's for free. It's an amazing book list. It's an awesome program available through grades pre-K to 12, and it's tailored specifically for Catholics. Which is why we chose it. We are Catholic, and I love their catechesis. So the Bible that we use for our little ones is the Catholic Picture Bible. I love this Bible. The illustrations are great. Everything is simplified just enough so that the little ones can understand the story, and we enjoy our Bible time a lot. Everything is either in a 1-page or 1.5-page spread, so not too long, short and sweet, and they love it. For Catechesis, I have a book for my 4-year-old called Little Acts of Grace. Love this book. It's super sweet. This really touches on really simple things like bowing when you hear Jesus' name said aloud, especially in Mass, what to do when you pass a church, making the sign of the cross, how to use a holy water font, genuflecting before you sit down in your pew at Mass, before the tabernacle, and different things like that. So really sweet. They're very, very short lesson pages, and really, really easy for my young ones to understand. My now kindergartner really enjoyed going through this book, and my 4-year-old loves it. So that's what we do for our Bible, religious studies, catechesis, whatever you want to call it. Next thing I'll talk about is reading in phonics. I have this program that we used for my 5-year-old. My 4-year-old always wanted to use them. He saw his brother using Bob books all the time, and I want to read Bob books, I want to read Bob books. So we're going through Bob books to learn our phonics sounds. For beginning phonics, we use Teaching Reading with Bob books, her approach. And what makes her approach golden is this binder system. So my binder is it's been through a couple kids, and I like to toss it around a little bit, so I probably need to replace my binder. But this is our binder, and inside is a series of tabs and baseball card holders where you will write down the sounds you are working on and slip them inside, and you organize them according to the new sounds they're learning that they review daily, and then the ones that they know better and don't need to review so often. You do it every other day, and then you move them down to reviewing once a week and then once a month. And once you have it all set up, it's really easy to go through. Lessons are super quick. I mean, I think we spend maybe 5 minutes reviewing our sounds, and that's it. He loves it. He pulls out his binder and says, "Mommy, do school with me." So that's what we do for phonics. Once I am done, once I feel like we're ready to move on from Bob books, I do have the Mcguffey Readers, and I plan on going through the original primer with my son. It has very basic things in it, but simple words, and then eventually you graduate into simple sentences and tiny stories. So once he has a grasp on all of his sounds, then I plan to go into the Mcguffey primer. So that's what we use. I don't know if we'll get to it by the time we start kindergarten or not, so that's why I'm showing you. I also have these really adorable wooden letters that I found on Amazon that we use, and he plays with them and builds words from the sounds that he knows to match whatever Bob book we're kind of working through at the time. And then I also have this little Tupperware full of some craft sand that I think was picked up at the dollar store, and he'll use that as like some pre-writing practice to practice writing out his sounds. Okay, that is what we do for phonics and reading. For math, I'm not using a math curriculum. I'm just trying to establish some general number sense with my child. He really enjoys just going through flashcards, so I have this pack that we found at our local Lakeshore Learning. He loves these because of the animal pictures on the back of the cards. So we go through those. We will play matching games. I have him point out, I'll give him a card, flash him a card, and ask him to count out the number that the card is showing on our abacus. He really enjoys that game. And then I also have this little book here. It's called I Spy Two Eyes, Numbers and Art. The author is Lucy Mcguffey. It's a really sweet book. I have a few of her books. And this one actually goes through counting from numbers 1 through 20 using real pieces of artwork, which I think is pretty fun. Really sweet book. Just something a little extra and fun to do. Throw in some picture study, kind of sneak it in. A lot of fun. So that is what we do for numbers or math. Next thing I'm going to talk about briefly is nature study. But I'm going to be starting exploring nature with children with my kids. And I'm going to be using this for all of my children, so not just preschool. So this will pop up in my other videos when I do my other grades. But I only printed out the autumn section. It starts in September and goes through, I think it's just September, October, and November, I believe. And it's October now. I'll probably not follow this timeline very strictly just because we're just getting started. So I'm sure I'll go back into September and kind of dabble in the topics that we want to cover. But she has everything laid out for you, you know, what to observe on your nature walk, activities. She even includes picture study and poetry study in this. So if you didn't have any picture study or poetry study planned, you do with Exploring Nature with Children. But that's what we have for our actual nature study. I'm very excited to start that. For our nature lore, I'm going to be reading some nature lore to all my kids. And this year we're going to be looking at the Burgess Animal Book for Children. I found this kind of really fun copy, much older copy. I want to say this one was printed in 1920, of this book at a bookstore, I think for like $4. So it's a little rough around the edges, but I really love the character it kind of brings to our school. The illustrations are really beautiful and really pretty colors. Not sure if you can see that very well. But so when we start nature study, I'll read a story from here, then we'll go ahead and do our nature study. I actually have lots of nature study books, how to draw and things like that, different nature study books, so we'll be pulling all those out from time to time. Another sweet book I have for nature study is called The Year at Maple Hill Farm. It's a really sweet book, and it just goes through life at a farm, animal life at a farm, what the farm looks like, the seasons, change of the weather, all throughout the different months of the year. So my kids really enjoy this book, and it's just fun. Just to touch on a little bit of geography and just some sense of the world, I read this with my preschooler. W is for world, around the world, ABC. We also have a globe, and you know, we'll use the globe during school too for talking about a particular place. And I have maps, so we pull those out as well. So yeah, just a little bit of geography, that's what we use. Something else I do that's not on the syllabus, I actually found this book at a local curriculum sale. It's called Listen My Children and You Shall Hear by Betty Lou Cradaville. And this book is kind of awesome. And I don't think this was her intention, I think that her intention for this book was just to kind of help kids pay attention to, you know, what they are hearing, like what's being said to them and what they're hearing. I think it is an excellent resource to just start very gently practicing the art of narration. Now, he's only 4. I'm not pushing narration, but it's a fun little activity and he enjoys it. So I'm going to give you an example of what's inside this book. So every page is numbered. So this is lesson 1, and you have 3 levels, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And each level has underneath it a small passage. And the passages are all similar. Each one kind of steps it up a little bit in terms of advancement, if that makes any sense. So I'll give you an example. I'm doing level 1 with my 4-year-old. A little boy went for a walk. He saw a mud puddle. He jumped into it. Then he went home and took a bath. So I will read that to him, and then I'll ask him, hey Diego, now can you tell mommy what you heard? And then he will tell me what he heard. And usually he doesn't repeat it word. The goal is to repeat word for word because it's pretty short. But we're working there. Sometimes he can repeat it almost word for word. Sometimes he just gives me kind of a general idea of what I talked about. But it's just fun and he really enjoys this book. And then, you know, the 2nd level, it talks about the same thing. It just kind of adds some more detail. 3rd level, the same thing. So that's just something tiny that I add in there. Sometimes we'll do 1 or 2 of those a day. Sometimes we won't do it. Depends on his mood. So I follow his lead. But I love that book. For literature, I'm going through the Complete Tales of Beatrix Potter with Diego. He really loves Peter Rabbit. He loves all of his friends, and he loves these stories. And this is what he has chosen for me to go through him. I kind of gave him a choice of a few different things that we have around the house. So that's what we're doing for literature. I also have the Little Bear series, Early Readers, that he loves me to read aloud to him. Frog and Toad, we'll read aloud to Frog and Toad. He likes to listen in sometimes to my kindergartners read aloud. Playing outside, playing with each other, being 15 months apart with his older brother and 21 months apart with his younger brother. They have a lot of playtime. So I just encourage a lot of play. And we pepper school in. I don't do all of these things every day. I kind of just, like I said, I take his lead. If I'll ask him, hey, do you want to do school today? And I'll kind of start off with Bible, and then he'll kind of just bring me what he wants to do next. I approach this very casually. Anyway, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If you wanted to establish some kind of special preschool time, I hope this helps. We love what we're doing, and I hope that you enjoyed some of our book choices. I'm going to put links in the video description to all of the books I talked about if you're interested in checking them out. And that is all for today. I'll do a follow-up video going into more detail on teaching reading with Bob books because it's a pretty extensive system. Once you get the hang of it, it's easy, but to set it all up and to explain it initially takes a little bit more time than what I had for today. So I'll do a separate video on that. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more content on homeschooling via the Charlotte Mason method. I am doing a giveaway. I will be giving away a picture study portfolio from Simply Charlotte Mason once we reach 100 YouTube followers. So I went ahead and I announced on social media. Follow me on Instagram if you're not already. You can find me at Our Living Book, and I'll regularly post updates about my giveaway. If you can find that original post, enter the giveaway. The winner will receive the artist of their choice picture study portfolio from Simply Charlotte Mason, which I love. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you have any video requests, please contact me. And thanks so much for tuning in.